Hey everybody, Karen O'Donnell from Imperfect EFT. Thank you for joining me. Today's topic is going to be communication, and sometimes we feel that we don't have the ability to communicate well with others, and that is a real fear and blockage that some of us have. So let's talk about a couple of different kinds of communication, one being specifically the telephone. So I think the younger generations find it easier, and I sometimes find it easier, to just send a text or an email and to not have to actually talk to another person if it's something difficult that we're trying to project to them. So if we're doing cold calls for a business, if we're calling a colleague or calling for a doctor's appointment, anything that involves a talk that is going to potentially cause anxiety, that I think is a really good place to start for our difficulty with communicating with other people. And I'm going to also tie in the communication that we sometimes feel that we lack or we feel inferior of in terms of public speaking. So if you have a presentation to give, or if you need to talk to a boss about something in particular, sometimes the feeling of anxiety with that communication that is going to be happening is really overwhelming. So we're going to do some EFT today on communicating with others, whether it be in person, on the telephone, by, on stage presentation or school presentation. It's all about communication and the anxiety and the fear related to that. So if you've seen any of my videos, you have known a little bit about what EFT is. So it's the emotional freedom technique, and it is our brain's processing of different things that cause us to feel anxious, to feel like we're in fight or flight mode. And EFT helps to calm that down so that we don't have that response. So we're going to do EFT today on communicating with others. So we're going to start with our karate chop point here. And before we do that, we're going to note where it is that we feel the sensation of anxiety with communicating with others, whether you have to make a very difficult phone call or if you have to set up an appointment. Where do you feel that in your body, and how is it that you feel it? Do you feel like sweaty? Do you feel palpitations? Do you feel nervousness, butterflies in your stomach? What do you feel? And give it a number on a 0 to 10 scale, 10 being the most distressing that you feel about this particular issue of needing to call somebody, needing to give a presentation, anything like that. So you want to think about that and give it a number. So I'm going to say, for me, if I have to make a difficult phone call or give a presentation, I would say that I'm typically around an 8, and I notice it when I'm feeling like really hot and sweaty. So that is my sensation, and I want you to write down what your sensation is, because very often you're going to feel like it's going to shift by the time that we're done. So we're going to start with our side of the hand, the karate chop point, and this is going to be the first round of tapping that we're going to do. And I'm going to do my setup statement, which is, even though I feel very insecure and sometimes have difficulty with communicating, I accept that's how I feel right now. So even though my body sometimes feels very anxious when it comes to communicating with others, either by presentation or making cold calls, I accept that's how I'm feeling right now. Even though I have the sensation in my body that I have difficulty with communicating, I accept that's how I feel right now. So we're going to start at the eyebrow point, and I'm going to say this feeling in my body about communication. On the side of the eye, this feeling in my body about communication. Under the eye, this feeling in my body about communication. Under the nose, sometimes I feel really insecure about my communication skills. Under the lower lip, this feeling in my body about communicating with others. On the chest, right below the clavicle, this feeling of communicating with others. Under the arm, this feeling that I have in my body of communicating with others. On top of the head, this feeling in my body about communicating with others. And take a deep breath and let it go. And note the sensation that you have. Right now, I would say that my sensation is about a 4. And a 4 is pretty good from an 8, but I would say that there's still room for improvement. So I'm going to do another round of tapping, and I hope that you will join me. And if you didn't feel any sort of shift, that's okay too. Just kind of make a note of that. And we're going to continue on with our second round of tapping about communication. So we're going to do the eyebrow point again. This feeling is still in my body about being insecure about communication. On the side of the eye, this feeling is still in my body. Under the eye, this feeling is still in my body, and it is safe to feel this. And this feeling has been in my body for a long time. Right at the chin, I'm not sure where this feeling came from. In the chest, but I feel I'm ready to let it go. Under the arm, I am letting this sensation go. On top of the head, I am letting this sensation about fear of communication go. Okay, take a deep breath again and let it go. So how do you feel? Do you have the same sensation that you did when we first started our tapping? Just make a note of that, and if you haven't had any shift at all, that's okay. It's noteworthy that you don't have any sort of shift. You may have noticed something while you were doing the tapping, whether it be a new feeling in a different part of your body. You may have had a visualization of something. You may have a sensation of color now where you didn't before, or the color has shifted. So just make a note of that. And right now I can say that I don't feel that kind of sweaty hot sensation. I feel lighter in my head, and I feel that it has really helped my lack of communication skills that I sometimes feel that I have. And again, you may not know why you have this sensation that you have this fear, but it could be from when you were in middle school and you had to give a presentation and you felt like you either weren't prepared or you didn't get the information to the class correctly, people were laughing, whatever it is that comes to you as you're doing a tapping seminar like I am now. If you note that, then that might be something that you want to tap on as well. So if you had that sensation of when you were in middle school, do another round of tapping and just say that feeling that I had when I was in middle school and giving that presentation. And that will really calm things down so that future you, who is here now, will have that less fight or flight sensation in your body when it comes to public speaking or talking on the phone, things like that. So I hope that this has helped you. Please, please, please put any comments that you would like in the comment section of this video. I would love for you to share your insights and your experiences with these videos. And if you can subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate that. But also please share with other people who you feel would benefit from any of this information. So I thank you, and I will see you again next time.